Hello, welcome back to the interface. My name's Alex. Today we're at Cafe Machine for the 50th anniversary of the Volkswagen Golf. This is the brand new model, it's the Mark 8.5, and today we're going to drive it and have a look what's new. So for the new Golf 8.5, you'll notice that it looks very similar to the outgoing car from 2019. Volkswagen have said that it is a very minor sort of facelift, and they're not even calling it the 8.5, it's sort of the enhanced Golf. What Volkswagen has improved is a lot of the stuff inside, which we'll look at in a minute. But we have also got some new angular headlights. They're a bit slimmer than they used to be. Down the bottom, the bumper is a bit different in design. I'll put some pictures on screen of side by side. There are also some new engines. We have got a hybrid version, which does have a lot more range than it used to. Again, some specs are on screen. There's also still diesel, there's petrol, and then there's an ETSI sort of mild hybrid version. This one is the Volkswagen Golf Match, and it comes with a standard petrol engine with a manual gearbox. Around the side, it is very similar to the Golf 8, but we do get some new choices for alloys and colours. For this match trim, you can choose between blue, ice blue, dolphin grey, black, king's red, orcs white, moonstone grey, pure white, and Urano grey. Alloys available vary from 17 inches to 18 inches. This one you see here today are the new Catania 18-inch versions and cost £585. Around the back is the typical Golf design we're used to, with wider lights that were redesigned with the Mark 8 in 2019. Some trims, including the R-Line, do have some cool light animations, but these were not fitted to the model we tested. Getting into the boot is done by flipping the VW logo, something the Golf has had for a very long time. And interestingly, this is where the reversing camera lives to keep clean. Boot space in a Golf has always been pretty impressive. With the seats up, we get 381 litres and over 1200 with the seats down. Underfloor storage is good too. Some models might have a subwoofer depending on options, and the boot floor can neatly stay upright. Inside, there is one LED light and a 12-volt socket. Before we go any further, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the Interface Car channel. Your support would be greatly appreciated. So for the interior of the new Golf 8.5, Volkswagen have made, again, some very small incremental improvements. One of the large improvements is the quality of the materials inside. Volkswagen has said they've listened to some feedback. The Golf 8 did feel a little bit cheap in places. So we've got this nice sort of, on this particular trim anyway, some nice plastic trim here, which breaks up sort of the greyness of it. I've got the usual rubbery stuff here. But one improvement I noticed is the plastics here feels a lot better quality than it used to, which is really nice. And we have got some cloth material on the door here, which again makes it feel really nice. We've got the usual sort of cloth lined door bins. And these seats are really nice and comfortable as well. They look like office chairs, but they are really nice and supportive and really comfortable. Again, we have got the plasticky sort of silvery material here, which again looks like it breaks up the materials used in the car, which is nice again. Down here we have got a wireless phone charging pad. This time it is now cooled, so it keeps the phone cool, because some phones have problem with overheating when they're wirelessly charging, so that's quite a nice improvement there. But overall, it's a really nice sort of incremental improvement that Volkswagen have made. Now, the biggest change comes to the steering wheel and the infotainment screen. This infotainment screen is a really good size, and it's part of their new 4th generation operating system called MIB4. So again, we've seen this in the Volkswagen Tiguan, the new Passat, but it's a massive improvement. It's not quite perfect. We still have got sliding controls for the air conditioning and the volume, but it is a massive improvement. So we have got a new voice assistant called Ida, and there's a lot better performance when it comes to actually using the screen, so you can see everything's really well performing. Now, the change to the steering wheel, we have now got physical buttons again on the steering wheel, which is really good. With the Golf 8 in 2019 and also the ID3, Volkswagen unfortunately put haptic controls all on the steering wheel, and we now have gone back to a more practical solution, which is good. There are still some leftover bits from the Golf 8. We have still got sort of haptic controls for the lighting controls, which is a bit daft. Admittedly, it isn't too much of a problem because you just stick your lights on auto and that you call that a day. We have got some shortcut buttons down here. Again, they are haptic controlled. This one does have a 6-speed manual, but we do have an electronic handbrake and also a start engine button here. We have got the usual Golf style cup holders here, which have little grippers in place. So you have got 2 cup holders there, and then they do fold away quite easily when you don't want a cup in there, which is good. Some central storage in there, again that feels really solid, but overall it's a good improvement that Volkswagen have made to the new Golf. Back seats of the Golf are pretty spacious with good leg and headroom. We get 2 USB-C ports, ambient lighting and great materials on the doors. Rear armrest has 2 cup holders and a load-through hatch. So what's the new Golf 8.5 like to drive? Well, I've only had limited experience with the new Golf 8. Well, this one feels very similar, but the first thing I noticed is how better quality everything is. Volkswagen have said with this new model that all the materials have been improved greatly, because that was one of the common complaints with the old one. And I can say, yes, the seats are comfortable, there's nice materials on this bit here, and it feels quite refined. The Golf has always been quite a premium hatchback, and this one does feel quite quiet, quite refined. This one is the 1.5 litre petrol engine in matched trim today. There is also quite a few other trims available, but it seems pretty eager to accelerate. This one has got a 6-speed manual. It is nice to see the manual gearbox still living its life. A lot of countries and a lot of manufacturers are getting rid of the manual gearbox, and across the whole Golf range, apart from the GTI actually, which has now got rid of it, we do have the option of a manual gearbox, which comes as standard, which is nice. So as I said, yeah, the GTI does lose the manual gearbox option, which would upset a few enthusiasts. Obviously the R has always had a DSG as standard for quite a while. Volkswagen also does give you the choice now of quite a few engine options. We do have petrol, which is this one here. We do have mild hybrid in the ETSI trim, and we also do have a plug-in hybrid. That plug-in hybrid does now have a lot more range, about 80-85 miles of range. And we do have a diesel option as well, controversially. So a lot of modern cars now do have, by law, a lot of annoying bings and bongs and just alert systems. I've noticed in the last few minutes of driving this that there isn't actually anything annoying that's happening so far. This driver's display has borrowed a few of the fonts and elements from the ID range, and we have got a traffic sign recognition system, or a speed limit sign recognition actually. So it's saying 60, but I was just in the 30 zone. I was going about 31, 32. And it wasn't binging and bonging, it was just flashing, which was quite nice. So it may reveal itself in a longer term use, but so far it doesn't seem like it's being that annoying. I have noticed as well, I'm not sure if this was on the old one, but as I'm going a bit slower, it is deactivating some of the cylinders. So it is putting itself into cylinder mode, something the old Fiesta used to do as well. So as you heard there, I was entering a 30, and it literally just a very faint sort of little bell ringing to say you're going too fast, but there's nothing loud and annoying and distracting, which is really good. Visibility is also quite good. You can see a lot out of the back window, and the rear mirror is a good size. We also have got these tiny quarter lights as well. So as I mentioned, the Golf is actually quite refined. There's very little wind noise here. There's a little bit of tyre noise from the tyres, and the suspension comfort is actually quite good as well. On the new 8.5 Golf, there is the option between standard coils and also dynamic chassis control. That is an option extra. There's a price on screen right now. Obviously, one of the problems with the ID range and also the outgoing Mark 8 Golf is still here. We have still got a lot of controls on the touchscreen. Pretty much everything for the climate control is all on this screen. While this screen has been updated, it still is not perfect. The air conditioning controls are a bit clunky to find. Just trying to turn the fan speed down to start filming was just a confusing mess. There are shortcut buttons down here, but they are not buttons. They are simply just haptic controls. But once you are in the haptic menu, there's a lot of dancing your eyes between the road and the screen, which is a bit dangerous. I'm hoping in the next Golf that we finally see some physical buttons return. Obviously, we have got physical buttons now on the steering wheel again. On a positive note, however, the slider controls are at least illuminated. With the older versions of this screen, you couldn't even see them at night time, which was a bit daft. So that's been a first look at the new Volkswagen Golf Mark 8.5. Any questions, let me know in the comments down below. I've been Alex, and I'll see you again next time.